Sweet. Awesome. Welcome back to the show, guys. Another episode of the Full Subjects podcast. New year, new goals. We're going to be talking about a little bit of goal setting, maybe perhaps some New Year's resolutions, because that's the time of year that it is. We have a really awesome guest for you guys, Richard Baxter. So we're really excited for this episode. As always, this podcast is for informational purposes only. It does not constitute any legal, tax, investment, financial, or any other advice. It's not intended to cause or induce breach of any existing agency agreement. We probably don't have to worry about the real estate disclaimer when we're talking not real estate, but we throw it in there anyway, just in case.
All right. Well, Richard, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, of course.
What do you do? And just kind of give us your spiel, and we'll kind of take it from there.
Yeah, of course. Basically, I've been a coach for the last 10 years. Before that, I played football for 10 years as well. During the last 10-year period, I pretty much have had almost every other fitness job under kind of the sun, whether it's be supplement stores or in gyms, running gyms, trainer. But pretty much I've always had like my own coaching business as well. And then I recently just kind of started doing an apparel line. Yeah, so something that completely off the spectrum. Yeah, something I've always wanted to do, but honestly just been like too scared of being like, who's going to buy my stuff? Who's going to like my stuff? Kind of all those scarcity thoughts that you know we just have when we have ideas and we just don't do them. But I'm doing it. It's going well so far.
Why fitness? Of all things you get into, why fitness?
Yeah, so during my 10-year time of football, I was like a Div 1 athlete. I had scholarships, people looking at me like the whole time. And one thing that sadly I was not taking care of was the after, and like what would happen if I got injured, or what would happen if there was no football, anything like that, like injury prevention. I wasn't really looked after. Like people were there while I was playing, training, being the all-star and stuff like that, but people weren't there afterwards. And I didn't want to have people have like similar feelings essentially in that way, because fitness is so tainted, especially nowadays, that we just need more light, and there's just so much bad out there essentially. So I just want to basically be an outlet for people to have, get taught what to do, how to do it, not just be in it for, the money and stuff like that, because sadly that happens. But yeah. Yeah.
I think a big part of it is looking at it as like, health and wellness, as opposed to, just it being fitness or what you can do or perform like the high end. It's like, it's about it being fully encompassing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people sadly just get looked at as numbers, especially when like clients coming in and out, and people just, want to get a quick transformation photo and have them be done with and stuff like that. But it's like, you got to take care of people. And I feel like you guys can, agree to that, because both of you guys, in the fields that you're in, you have to take care of people in order to be successful and be kind of where you're at too. So you have to have some level of care.
Yeah, it's the difference between looking at like, in fitness, a lot of people look at it as a destination, but it's the journey, and it's about continuing to do the things. It's not about like, oh, I lost 10 pounds, or if that's your goal, or, I've added 10 pounds muscle. It's like, okay, how do I keep that? And what do I work towards next? Right. Yeah. It's not just accomplishing something, it's continuing to do something.
Yeah, 100%.
A habit and a lifestyle, as opposed to like a one-off thing that you kind of did.
Yeah, and that's the big thing that you said too. It's the habit, and just kind of changing your habits. And it doesn't matter what you're trying to do, whether it be fitness or not. But a lot of people will say, look at weight loss, for example, and it's like, how do I lose the weight? But it's like, let's reverse it and be like, how did I gain the weight? Like, let's tackle those problems first. And usually it comes from habits, or knowledge, not knowing what to do, and overeating and stuff like that. But people always look at like, how do I get there? But they don't look at what got them there essentially in the first place. And it could be like real estate as well, like good deals, bad deals, everything too. And, yeah.
So how have you been able to help people find success with, I guess, reforming their habits, or maybe even your own personal success with that?
Yeah, so like honestly, so me myself, I've dealt with 2 different eating disorders. I've had the all-you-can-eat diet, where I just like Kirby, everything just like shoveling into my mouth. Right. Doesn't matter what I'm doing, I'm just eating it kind of thing. And then I've had the diet where I've tracked everything and been so restrictive, where I would like compare having an apple and an orange, but I'm like, I'm literally comparing a freaking apple and an orange here. Like, what the hell am I doing, right? Like this eating disorder, we got to stop kind of. So I like to teach people that. So I specialize essentially on sustainable, healthy living. So what I like to do is I teach people how to sustainably just go out through their day to day with just eating enough food, fueling their bodies, protein, water, fiber, fats, like carbs aside and stuff. They have such a bad rep, but I just like to fix or help fix people's eating habits and mentality towards food, because we're like, everybody's fear mongering everything online and everybody shits on everything. You're not allowed to have oils. You can't have this. You're going to die. Like, it's just,
It's a lot.
it's bizarre. And like everybody, you look online and it's so saturated. Everybody says something. So it's like, hey, let's just focus on what works for you. And let's, like, you know, if you need to eat, like, I had pizza several times last week and craft dinner, and like I'm fine. I'm not like, it's not great, but it's like, hey, at least I'm eating. At least I'm like turning that craft dinner, adding beef, adding vegetables, making it a meal, like making sure I'm at least hitting my micronutrients and stuff like that. But you know, you can eat whatever you want and still get the goals that you want. Maybe not like stepping on stage bodybuilder wise, but like you can still look and feel really, really good too.
So what helped you kind of change that mindset? Because you said you had eating disorders.
Yeah.
And I want to touch on something there. I think it's important to note that eating disorders are not the extreme that they maybe are always made out to be.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
it can be as simple as overeating or as simple as undereating. I do want to touch on that quickly, but how did you kind of make that shift?
So the hardest thing for me, like even honestly still to this day, like when I go into a caloric surplus or like gaining weight, when I want to like put on some muscle and some size and stuff, I still to this day, like I'll start eating a little bit of weight. I'll see the puffiness, and it's just water weight. You're not putting on fat. It's just carbs absorb water and into your muscles and stuff like that. But it's even to this day something I'm not fully comfortable with, to be completely honest. And it's just something that you slowly work on. And I think a lot of people that do have some sort of lingering disorder, so something in the past, whatever it may be, it will like maybe subconsciously it'll kind of always be there. Like that's what personally, like what I go through is like it's always kind of there, but like I just learned to kind of like deal with it and slowly just like accept it and just be a little bit more comfortable. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you talked about, you know, kind of making your way through not through the ranks, but just kind of the different positions that have led you here. Talk a little bit about your history of the different kind of roles that you had and how that has kind of like sculpted you into what you're doing now, and then, you know, maybe even your goals in the future.
Yeah, for sure. So I started off, I went to InfoFit. It's basically it's like a personal trainer college. Essentially what they do is, if you have, like, say if you go to BCIT or SFU, you take like a 2 to 3 year program to get your personal trainer certificate. What they do is they fast track it so you can get it in 12 weeks. Essentially, there's basically a final every single week. There's tests every single day and stuff like that. So you got to do a lot to upkeep and pass, or else they hold you behind, essentially. And so I went to there first. That's where I probably got like 5 different certificates, ACE being one of them, American Council on Exercise. And then basically after that, I started my own business, because I was like, you know, I just want to work with people, and I don't really want to go through a gym. I had a good networking base back then. I was a bartender and stuff. So like, you know, I knew a lot of people. Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people back then, I was just starting out. I was charging $15 an hour or free for most people just to get the portfolio going. So obviously everyone's like, $15 an hour. Yeah, sure. I'll train with you kind of. So, so I did that. I basically, that was over 10 years ago. And then, during that time, yeah, I went over to Popeyes. So in the last 10 years, I was managing for about 5 years of the Popeyes in Coquitlam. And then they also own the Burnaby one as well too. Amazing group of guys over there. Tell them I sent you. They'll take care of you. That's all I'll say. So I basically spent a lot of time in the supplement industry, and then I kind of not parted ways, but I took a split from the supplement industry after about 3 years, and I went to run an Anytime Fitness. I started as a trainer there. They needed a manager, took over the gym. Actually took that gym to #1 Anytime Fitness in Canada I'd probably say within 6 months. I literally like ranked like #1, had all the accolades and stuff like that.
And was that for like utilization or?
It was like, so there, of course there's numbers and stuff included, but a lot of it was actually retention and like customer scores and stuff like that too. Right. So it was really big on like retention, and like the retention, like, yeah, it was like next to nothing. Like everybody wanted to stay when I was there. It was really good. So great community, great community, great people there. Yeah, I really liked it. And then after that, I went on to be the GM of Club 16, very short period, about a year during post-COVID, and that was interesting. Yeah. I think everybody during COVID was confused and didn't know what to do, honestly. Didn't matter what area you were in.
Yeah.
It was a whole new world for everybody.
Fitness took a beating.
Yeah, fitness got its ass kicked. Like people are just trying to be healthy and work on themselves, and they're like, you can't, and we're all like,
What else?
dude, like what? Yeah, like what? Like, I think that honestly sparked a huge like mental depression. I think across I know I probably put on like 40 pounds during that time, and yeah, it was rough. But yeah, then after the Club 16, I went back to Popeyes again too, and still always like personal training and stuff on the side, because I have my own app. It's super simple to do, and my clients get access to it, and it's really easy to track everybody and give them their stuff. And yeah, basically after that, then now we're here. Now we're pretty much here, yeah. But then yeah, we can touch on the apparel stuff if you want to down the road too. Yeah. So honestly, I started a clothing brand, and it's called Uncommon Apparel. Basically, I started it just because I'm like, I like clothes. Like, who doesn't like clothes? I'm like, I like clothes. Yeah. I'm like, I like the style of clothes, but like clothes never fit me properly. Like I'm a super awkward body length. I have super long legs, short torso, really long arms. So like, yeah, like I lift up, sleeves are too short or crop topped, or just like, I just feel not great in them. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? I always want to do it, but like, I've started it before, never ever went through with it. Like, now, because you're always like, doesn't like my shit. Like, no one's gonna like my designs. Like, no one's gonna like what I do. Like, nothing like that. And then like when I remember I made the first post, and people were like, "This is sick," and I'm like, "Really? Like, are you sure? Like, I know we're friends, but like, yeah. But it was good." And then people started following the page, getting traction and stuff like that. But yeah, essentially just started out as like a project that I wanted to try, because ultimately I had a baby boy, and I'm like, I need to try all the things that I want to do, because who am I to be a good father to be like, you should try all this stuff, haha, but me not do half the shit that I want to do, right? So the hardest part was for me just to like overcome the fact that I was like just scared. Like, we're just scared to do it, and like that's it. Like, we're just scared, and nobody really, maybe people will think, or maybe people will care what they think like for that quick second, but they're going to forget in like 15 seconds. And really only you care about what like others are kind of thinking about you. Like, it's like they're going to forget, but you're thinking about it. So it's just like, let that go and don't be scared anymore. But
there's something very peaceful about just like, you know, doing what you want to do and just like following through with it and not thinking about any of that other stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I've definitely had those same thoughts. It's like, you know, in the future, if I was to tell my son, like, you know, you can do anything you want, then just to like also, you know, because I did, you know what I mean? And,
or at least you tried, right?
Yeah.
Like, at least you tried.
I think a lot about that. Not to get too heavy here, but it definitely crosses your mind. When
you become a parent, like, you think you know what being a parent's going to be like, and you're a new dad as well too, but you think you know what it's going to be like. But like, I remember holding my son, and just like, we had a room that was like overlooking the water, and I was just like you think you know, you're like, oh, you haven't, like, it just way over your head, like so much, like obviously way better than you like anticipated. The feeling of your priorities changed, the way you like your outlook on life, like for me anyways, just like everything changed. I gotta do everything now. Like, I just gotta try it all.
We're gonna have a new podcast.
Yeah, sweet. Hey man, like, I'm down.
So you started the brand. What does it mean to you? What does it represent?
Yeah, so it's always just been about community. That's the biggest thing for me, is just how, like, I grew up around like a big football community and stuff like that, and when I left that community, nobody talked to me. Like, I was never ever talked to, like, after I got injured and stuff like that. Like, no one reached out to me. Coaches never like talked to me. Like, I spent 10 years with these people, and I felt really just like, shit, like, that's horrible. Yeah, I'm like, oh, now what? So then I spent like the next basically decade of my life just kind of like figuring shit out, you know what I mean? But I just wanted to create the Uncommon brand as just like an outlet for people to come to that either feel like either left out or broken, don't have a place to go, want like some sort of comfort. Yeah, like that's why I've started the Uncommon community, because I wanted to create a whole bunch of different professionals and a whole bunch of different people that like our communities can all kind of like intertwine together and just basically trust one another, that we are going to like, hey, if you need a trainer, I got this person. If you need a coach, I got this person. If you need a barber, I got this person. If you need a realtor, like I have these people. Just like basically a collective of people that are just great at what they do and just care, because there's a lot of people who are just in it for the money. I learned that the hard way. I hired a business coach like back in COVID, and that was horrible. But Yeah, that was I learned about what not to do. So
Yeah, you tried though.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what we're all
yeah,
about. That's great.
yeah.
What's the proudest moment of your career so far? Is it a transformation story? Is it something that you accomplished personally? Just open ended. Well, what is the your proudest?
Yeah,
accomplishment
you
so
know,
far?
like I was thinking about if this would come up, and I don't know if it's happened quite yet.
Okay.
To be honest, like I think what I'm doing right now is definitely on the path of what I need, like should be kind of doing. Not to sound like should be doing it kind of thing, but like
Right.
I feel like I'm back on the path to where I was again, like like 10 years ago when I sparked the fitness journey again after like I kind of beat the depression side of football and getting back into things and stuff. So I feel like I'm back at that place now. So I think to answer your question, hasn't happened yet, but it's like I think it's transpiring like with this project and all this stuff. So yeah.
One of my favorite quotes, maybe we can get into this after, is I know the podcaster that I listened to that said it, not necessarily where he got it from, but just the idea that you've already achieved goals that you said would make you happy. When I think back on that, it's like, if you would have told me 5, 8 years ago, 10 years ago that, I'd be an entrepreneur or I'd be a homeowner or, this or that or that, I'd be like, you're crazy. Sometimes you got to give yourself a little bit more credit too.
100%. Yeah.
What's your favorite quote?
Honestly, I don't have one. There's a lot of good ones and stuff like that. And like, I'm like a sap for anything like basically like that. Yeah. It's like, so if you had asked me a couple of years ago, I'd have been like, oh, self-development, like, like it comes and goes, but like, no, it's like, it's true. Like, you really gotta, like, that's why I took a 2-year break from coaching. Cause I'm like, I need to work on myself before I can take care of others. How am I supposed to take care of others if I can't take care of myself? How about yourself? It's hard, and it's like there's a lot of good stuff out there.
And
Like
I think it depends on where you're at that time, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. 100%.
Especially if you come across it at a certain point in your life, right? You're like, damn, I need to hear that.
Yeah.
It's favorite quote ever, as opposed to like sometimes you'll hear something and then like 4 years later, well, that one was pretty good.
That was good. Yeah, that's why there's so many different like speakers, right? Like their stories are all different, even though they're kind of like saying the same thing. It's just whatever resonates with you at that time. So yeah, well said. Yeah, good. Well said.
I think it's fair to say that, the time of year that we're in, fitness is typically, and health is a big goal for people. So let's maybe hop back into the fitness stuff. Let's put it that way. What are some misconceptions that you think that you're seeing right now in the fitness industry?
Everything.
We have
my
48
God.
hours. No, just in general. And then
Oh
maybe.
my God. Anything fear mongering, like that, that's just like above and beyond. Like you can have sugars, you can have sweetener. God, I know people who have like 5 energy drinks a day, a box of Oreos, and like, I'm not even joking. He eats he'll eat like 10 Oreos for breakfast and have like 4 energy drinks throughout the day, and like, I think everything's good in moderation.
Yeah.
Like for that, but like, there's so many misconceptions. Like the whole, honestly, I would say, misconceptions aside, literally just stick to the basics. As long as you like shut everything everybody says out and just eat enough protein, drink enough water, get enough sleep, have enough fiber, and eat a little bit more fat than you think, because fat is very important for you. Like that, like every other misconception aside, like, yeah, because there's so much. I literally, like, I'm not even joking. Just because I was like, when I saw this, I was like, I'm going to Google it and just let's see what comes up. And there was like 4,000 things just in Google recommended for it. And I was like, this.
Don't eat eggs, but eat eggs. Yeah.
Yeah, don't eat eggs. Don't eat bananas. Don't have creatine. Like, it'll make, like, fat will make you fat. Like, come on. Yeah, Yeah, that is a very loaded, So I would say stick to the basics and like stick all the misconceptions aside. That would be a lot easier.
It's too easy to put information out there. No one's fact checking anything because they think if they see it online, it's fact. I mean, you and I can say whatever we want, right?
Oh yeah,
that's where a lot of it comes from. Is everybody has an opinion.
Yeah,
but a lot of people see opinion as fact, and then you start getting those problems with people
and then
knowing what's fact and what's not.
It evolves into this giant. I actually did. I did like some content. It was like a year ago that I was just like I was testing out some stuff, and I would put a video, like a 1-second video of me just like doing a rep of whatever exercise, and then I basically put on the video just some information that was just like complete
I
bogus or whatever. You ever
yeah.
see? It would be like protein doesn't build muscle and carbs like make you lose fat or like something like that. And then, but then in the caption, I'd be like, that's horrible information. Don't listen to that. Listen to this instead. Right. And those were blowing up like 50, 60, 70,000 views like consistently. And, but I was like, I feel like a complete asshole doing these. I'm like, okay, I got my information. Never doing them again. I'll just stop them. I'm pretty sure I lost a lot of followers off that too, because it was just like, I was like, what happens? Like, will people actually read the caption, or will they get stuck on like just the bullshit video that I'm putting that's saying that you're gonna gain fat from drinking water or something like that? Like,
did anybody ever comment before actually reading? Like, did you get any?
Oh yeah,
tons, yeah.
Man, I had so many people like just you're
trolling.
Yeah. You're trapping us. Man, like,
read the whole post, don't just skim it, right?
Yeah, and I was putting out like good information too, like really good. I'm like, just read it, and you'll be super educated, but people just get mad. It's easier. Yeah, that's funny.
I think another question I have too, because you're on the coaching end, like what are some of the tactics and strategies that you're using when program planning with people, depending on their goals? Like what are
that's a great question.
More stuff that you like, that you found would work for you, and you try that on other people, or like how do you, what do you do even to one of the things you mentioned is that you took some time off of coaching to build up your confidence and making sure that you were in a position to help other people. But what are some things that you're even doing to stay stay educated or stay up to date on some of the changes that you're seeing in program planning? Because I mean, one of the things you mentioned, you've been in fitness for the last 10 years. I was in fitness previously, and the way that the industry has changed in the last 10 years is nuts. There's so many changes. You saw the Tough Mudder things being really cool, and then bodybuilding, and then CrossFit, and then the fitness classes, and then you're seeing a big push now on the wellness end of things. Yeah. So two-part question, like what are you doing to kind of stay up to date, and then also what are your thoughts on how the industry has evolved during your time in it?
Yeah, of course. I'll answer the education one first. So like pretty much like every day, just I've kind of like set my Instagram up now that I actually get like useful knowledge that I can look at. Not saying that's a good way to do it. Helpful. Don't do that. But if anybody wants any general like workout information, livestrong.com, really good for just like general knowledge if you kind of want to look at that. Also for nutrition side, tdeecalculator.net, that will basically tell you how much, with their formulas and stuff, how much you should be eating based on if you want to gain, maintain, or lose weight. I'll say like for general population, like information there, really, really good for what I do. So in order to keep my certification, I have to actually have continuing education and certain amount of hours and credits and stuff like that. It's very small, actually. It's only like 20 hours and like it's over 2 years. So that is super small, but like I like constantly always reading, constantly looking at things online. If my clients have problems, like, when you get up to like 10, 20 clients, like when they start having problems, you gotta keep up to date with everything. So as long as you're continually coaching and doing like your due diligence as a coach, like just reading every day and kind of like staying up to date that way, I would say that's what most people do. Now there are a lot of coaches who don't have certificates and stuff like that, and like honestly, like I used to have a problem with that, but I'm like, so many people that don't have certificates are so knowledgeable. Yeah, like they know so much, and like they don't have a certificate. Like honestly, it might just be a big money grab because I got to pay every single year in order to keep this, and then but and then we'll go to
just how the fitness industry has changed over your time.
Yeah, it's like I'd say supplements got super popular after COVID. A lot of people were just like wanting to look at their health a lot more, and like supplements are a really great like way to actually get the things that you can't get throughout your day-to-day diet, or if you're lazy, or if you don't eat certain things, or if you don't eat vegetables, don't eat berries. It's a great way to implement things into your lifestyle and just build those habits. But I'd say overall how it's changed mainstream, maybe, I guess, because a lot of people are just I don't know. I don't want to say people are on their phones, because I'm one of those people who are on my phone too, but I'm like, I'm either working, responding to messages, maybe I just want to watch a video and stuff like that. But compared to back in the day when nobody would be on their phones and it'd be more gym cultured than nowadays. I'd say in the last like 15 years, phones has kind of like taken away a lot of gym culture, I'd say. I don't know how you guys feel about that too, if you notice anything, how like things have declined at all.
I mean, definitely from like the coaching perspective, like the barrier to entry is quite low in terms of like
Oh, for
anybody
coaches,
can,
yeah.
anybody can pretend to be a coach.
Yeah.
And like you said, some people are very knowledgeable, but there's a lot, again, going back to what we were talking about before, there's a lot of people putting out information that maybe it works for them, or maybe it's just to get people's attention. Right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that. So that I see a lot of. The phone thing for sure. Absolutely. I can't say I was ever part of a gym that had that strong culture though, so I can't.
It's hard because even the last like 20 years, there's really you got West Coast Iron. There's like Total Fitness in Langley. There's, I don't know if maybe the Golds here and there, but there used to be a Gold in Burnaby. That one closed down. That was like huge on the gym culture too. But
that was the brand.
I think it was Steve Nash turned into Club 16.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but it was I was on the SkyTrain side.
Oh, okay,
on the tracks there. Yeah. But yeah, it was like old school warehouse kind of gym. But
yeah, those are cool.
Yeah.
I went to, what was it called? West Coast Fitness, maybe? It was in Port Moody. What was it called?
West Coast Iron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iron, that's the one.
Yeah, really really good
out
gym.
there when I was playing baseball.
You got everybody there. Like if you're going to that gym, you're working out, like you're there to train.
That gave me that old school.
Yeah.
I mean, we were training as like a team at the time, and there was this guy. What was his name?
It wasn't
Former
York
football player.
Performance guy. I forget his name.
Reggie something.
Bradshaw by chance? Maybe?
Yes.
Oh yeah, actually, I played football with his brother. Actually, they were fast, man. Yeah.
He was a freak. Like when I would see him work out, like I was like, when we were kids, so I was.
Reggie, okay, like side note though, Reggie had the biggest traps you'll ever see. Like you thought he was wearing shoulder pads, man. Yeah.
He's only probably like maybe 6 foot at most.
Yeah, they were like 6-inch traps. It's crazy. I'm not even joking.
They were running back, I think, in the CFL for a little bit.
Yeah. I think it was ankle. Don't quote me on that, but I think it might have been ankle.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's a funny guy too. Like really, really great personality. So
yeah. Yeah, he played with my brother, then I played with his brother.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny. It's such a small world too. Yeah. But I want to touch on one thing that you said though about the, everybody can be kind of like a coach. No, it is too, and it is. Yeah, it's really bad. Like I'll take a step back to when I said I hired a business coach back in COVID. So I'd already been doing my business online with an app and stuff like that for about like 4 years, I'll say, and then during COVID, like social media just took like a skyrocket of how people were doing videos, and
nobody was leaving their house. They had their phone.
Yeah.
Like they were doing everything from their phone.
Yeah.
Right?
And I'm an in-person guy. I like to talk to people face to face, especially when I'm like getting them to spend money on, especially my services and me. So like doing that online and like through text and like makes me sound so old, but it just makes me, I'm like,
for sure.
I'm just more of like a natural get in there, like talk to you type of way, and like try to figure out your problems, and great if it works, okay if it doesn't, kind of thing. But so I basically hired a coach and spent a ridiculous amount of money over the year. I was in this chat with a whole bunch of coaches. There's over 1,000 of us, and every day we'd literally get messages in the group chat being like, I just signed my first nutrition package, and I don't know how to make a meal plan. Can one of you guys help me? And I'm like, what? And another person being like, I'm not certified yet. I haven't learned how to like make workout programs. Can someone help me do this? I just signed a client. And I'm like, well, because the business coaches were just like, hey, this is how you do it. This is the blueprint. Sell, and if it works, like we'll figure it out, kind of thing. Not literally. There was a lot more in depth. So that's that honestly, like that tainted the industry for me like a lot, and that was a reason why like I stopped coaching for a little bit too, because I was just like, there's so many people in it for like just being an asshole and like taking money and don't really want better people.
At it as sales as opposed to
I'm like extra money. I'm like, yeah, cool, you can make extra money, but it's like you're still dealing with human beings. You're still dealing with like people. You can give a workout program to somebody. Back to your program design thing, you can give them a improper program. They can get muscle imbalances, which would cause all sorts of underlying problems. For that, like if they have shoulder impingements and you're doing overhead stuff, that's going to ruin it. So like a lot of people would just give like generic templates to people and just like, hey, go at it. But like program design is very important to like make sure you don't get those muscle imbalances, make sure your clients enjoying the workouts, make sure you're doing the proper things, proper steps and stuff like that, to make sure they're doing things safely. And there's a lot that goes into it. And a lot of people just will copy and paste whatever they bought Jeff Nifford's program and they'll sell that or something like that. Like
put it into their trainer eyes.
Man, it's so sad. Yeah, and it happens so much.
Like all those programs, it's just like a PDF, or it's like, and it'll be basic exercises, and there often isn't even video. It's just like photos of like, this is what you should do. And I mean, that's a baseline, but
I think with that though too, piggybacking off that, is like, you know, if you're just looking for a workout program, you can go on Google and find hundreds of thousands
easy.
of them.
used to do.
So
Look up something.
and you can find something, but again, is it going to be catered to your individual needs? One,
Yeah.
two. Okay, if it's as easy as finding a program, the trouble is sticking to it. It's the accountability, right? And it's everything. Like, you spend an hour or an hour and a half, you know, 3 to 7 days. Realistically, it's probably 3 or 4, maybe 5 for most people that you're working with. Like, you know, that's an hour and a half of your day. What are you doing for the other 22 and a half hours? Is 7 to 8 hours of that sleep? Are you drinking enough water? Are you stressed out all the time? Are you, you know, if your goal is to lose weight, let's say, like, you're burning off your 700 calories, 800 calories during your workout. But if you're, you know, eating that back because of programming, all that kind of stuff, then it's, I don't want to say all for naught. Like, you're definitely going to be building muscle and, and that stuff, and efficiency with your biomechanic movements and neural changes, all that kind of stuff. But again, it's not going to get you to the end point of whatever your goal is.
It's, and a lot of people will just try to like cut carbs, like, oh, I'm just going to cut out my carbs. And it's like, you cut out carbs, you lose weight. It's just water weight. Yeah, you gain back the water weight. And it's like, a lot of people are like when they start keto, they're like, holy shit, I lost 40 pounds. I'm feeling great, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, but like, is what you're doing sustainable? Are you going to be able to do keto for the next, you know, 20, 30, 40 years? Like,
and
like
maybe 0.1% of you can.
Yeah, there is a small,
That's
small
what they want to do,
Yeah. But I'm like, you can just literally just tailor a diet. Just, this is what I say to everybody. I'm like, just don't eat like an asshole, and you'll be okay. Portion control, like, just make sure you're not overindulging. Like, and a lot of people don't know their portion sizes too. So I really, like, if you don't want to track your food to figure out your portion sizes, you'll have to like hire a coach to figure out, or something to show you how to do that. Like, because like, if you don't know how much you're consuming each day, or you don't recognize like how much food like portions are and stuff like that, and you're over consuming food. I made a post the other day on my story, and it was, if you overconsumed 100 calories every single day for the whole year, you'd gain 10 pounds over the year. It would actually be like 15 pounds or whatever. But if you just 100 calories, that is a tablespoon of peanut butter. That's like a Chipotle mayo. That's like a little side cart when you go to Cactus. That's like 300 calories in that, guys. Like, and everyone's like, wait, what? And I'm like, yeah, if you just, that's like, if you consistently every single day ate a little bit extra than what you're burning, you're going to gain weight.
And that's not to scare you. It's just to realize what you're doing. Right?
That's why you wake up and you're like, holy shit, what happened to me? It just like, it doesn't happen overnight. It's just like that whole 7 months, and then you wake up and you notice it. It's
because it's 3,500 calories for a pound times, you know, 365 days. So
10 to 15 pounds if you just eat a little bit extra every single day. And so, like, if you're trying for weight loss, just mentally try to eat just a little bit, like just a little bit a little bit less every single day, and like, you should be fine. And just eat a little less. If you're not losing weight, eat a little less. If you're not losing weight, just, if you don't want to track, that's what you're gonna have to do. And what
do you say to people that aren't eating enough? Because I think that's a big one.
Problem.
People can eat a lot more than they think they can. Once they've understood like portion control and things like that, they can actually eat a lot more food than they think they can. And what I see a lot of, and this is the good side of it, is you see like, okay, this person weighs, let's say, 150 pounds, and they look like this, and then they look like this at 150 pounds.
I love those pictures.
Those pictures are amazing. It's like, they're much leaner, they're much more like defined, and they're eating 500 extra calories.
Like, I actually have a couple of those on my Instagram from clients. It's great.
And those are the ones where I see them and I go, okay, you're probably giving good information here, because this person has 100% learned that they can actually eat more than they think they can.
I'm very glad you brought this up, because this is literally what I do with all my clients. Is before we even go for weight loss or weight gain, whatever it is, I just try to get you burning as many calories as you can off what you want to do. So say if you want to work out like 4 days a week, and right now we're at 2,200 calories, I want to try to get you like to 20. I want to try to maximize the amount of food you can eat based off what you're doing.
The same, basically.
And then once we figure that out, your body's going to go through some changes. Your body's going to, it's bound to happen if you start eating enough protein, start having enough fiber, absorbing your food properly, eating enough water. You're going to go through so many positive changes. Your body's going to recomp. You're going to feel amazing, and then you're just going to kind of carry that momentum going. But Yeah, I got carried away.
No, that's
no, it's and then again, it's just like all those small changes that we can make. Yeah, gosh.
No, it's remarkable to see those changes, and that's why having a good coach is important, because some coaches will tell you, like, just don't eat as much. Let's just put you in a massive deficit.
Yeah.
It's like that can be really detrimental
and unsustainable.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh, and hormonally that can be like, especially for I shouldn't say this because I can't speak on this, but from what I know,
for men
when it
too,
comes to women, especially, it can be very detrimental hormonally.
Oh yeah, like men and women too, and like that's where like fat gets a very bad misconception, but like you need fat in your diet in order to have proper hormone function and stuff like that. And then fat helps with, there's basically water and then fat soluble vitamins too. So in order to have the fat soluble vitamins, you need fat to kind of help. Yeah, or else it just doesn't do anything, but doesn't do anything. Yeah.
Acid basically. It doesn't really get absorbed. So,
yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, so it's, and there's a lot of things that people don't understand about that, but like the average person should be consuming 20 to 30% of their daily intake is fat. Like a good rule of thumb, and there's a lot of like protein misconception of how much protein I should eat and blah 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 blah, but like a good rule of thumb, 1 gram per pound of body weight. Like that's just a good, you can go 0.8 to 1.2 depending if you're cutting or bulking. You can go a little bit less. People will be like, oh, your body can only absorb 30 grams of protein. It's like, no, you can, like, there's studies now where you can absorb over 100 grams of protein. Like, and it was still like absorb in your body and stuff too. Yeah.
And how do you maybe it doesn't work for everybody, but it's like, how would they survive otherwise?
Well, that actually, it brings it back to the metabolism question too, where eating, your body just like, when you stop eating like low amount of calories, your body just stops burning and it just drops down, and you don't really like want to do anything. And then, you got to train your metabolism to start eating. Yeah.
Well, I think with that too, like, you're talking about carbs as an example, like consuming carbs helps you digest your protein, right? So it's not just about like living off of shakes and powders and potions. It's about having, a supplement to be a supplement, right? The word itself means that, like, to supplement or to be an add-on to the other stuff that you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like, for example, I eat a high protein diet. I do about 250 to 300 grams of protein every day, and I have lower carbs. Technically, any excess carbs will get turned into glucose, essentially. Anyways, you'll utilize it. But when I have higher carb diet, I just feel a little bit more inflamed. I don't know what it is. My joints. I have a lot of underlying football problems over the years. So it's just like my body's completely destroyed. So I do feel it, like whether it's in my head or not. But I do like a little bit higher fat, higher protein diet, and it's just all about finding what's best for yourself.
Yeah, right? And I imagine you've tried a few different things too.
I've tried, and honestly, I've tried everything for like, if like, for example, when your wife came on board, I did vegan as well too. I like to match what she was eating, and then I had a vegan client that signed up at the same time too to match what she was eating, and I've had like pescatarian clients only, so I'll eat just their diet too to kind of like know what they're going through and stuff like that. So it's to practicing kind of what you're gonna tell them as well too.
No,
so
I think that's great.
it helps.
Even if it's not your first choice, but at least better understanding.
Yeah, I'm like, I ate a lot of tofu that week, and a lot of beans and stuff.
Sweet. Well, we're coming up on 40 minutes here. Do you have any questions for us about anything or anything else that you want to kind of mention or chat about before we wrap up?
Feel free to plug away too if you like.
Yeah. I guess with that too, where can people find you?
Yeah, we'll start with that. My Instagram's at RG Baxter, Baxter. Pretty much just use Instagram. Questions for you guys though. How's the interest rates looking? That's going to be the first question.
Oh,
I don't know about you, but as a homeowner, I am so happy the interest rates have finally, it's not much, but at least it's trickled down. They're looking at me like it's about to go up.
Yeah, we've never talked rates.
We're never, okay, we won't talk about that.
Here's perks up. I'm
going to unplug my mic right now.
I've seen some fixed rates that start with a 3. Can you confirm?
Very rarely. Yeah, that's going to be hard.
I think you're lucky. You're paying someone to do.
Well, if a bank specifically, like if a branch wants to be very aggressive, we've seen that. That's not something that anybody can just go out and get.
5-year insured.
Yeah, the insured rates will be the low, but you can get like very low 4s, if not very close to 4 on the insured. And
so they're trying again.
But I mean, it changes, right? So like the bond market, for example, like the 5-year bond market, so it drives 5-year rates. It had come down a bit, but it's kind of ticked up a little bit more now. So we kind of saw a bit of a push down and a bit of push up. So in general, you're sitting at around like 4 to 4.5% kind of for fixed rates, depending on obviously the different aspects of it.
They're trying.
And then variable rates have become more competitive now too.
Oh, that's good actually. Yeah, because I know we had a variable rate and it was a roller coaster.
Well,
it was
sure,
fun. It
if
was
you
fun.
had it for the last few years, it definitely would.
Yeah, it's been fun. Yeah.
Thankfully, are you still variable? Yeah,
Still
so you're
variable.
seeing
We
that
stuck
now
it
the good
out.
side
Yeah,
of
we.
it. Yeah.
I was stubborn. Yeah, I stuck it out.
So
yeah.
the last 8 months has been welcome news.
Yeah,
In a couple weeks.
like if it just stays the same, I'll be very sad. To be honest.
Yeah.
Question for you guys, because obviously looking at, as a first-time home buyer, like when I went through the process, thankfully I had a good realtor that walked me through everything, like start to finish. So what would be some of your guys' tips, I guess, like on the mortgage side and on the realtor side for, I guess, first-time houses nowadays, especially now things have kind of maybe, I think they're settling down. I don't know. I get updates from this guy.
Yes. So you're just saying tips for a first-time home buyer?
Yeah, like if I was like, say if I was like, hey, I'm brand new, just want to get in the market, like what would be, I guess, the best course of action for me to get in there?
Sounds cliche, but do it sooner than later. Best time to buy is yesterday, if you know what I mean. Like typically with how the value of things increase, it's easier to get in and kind of start to catch that bump than save up to get ahead. I always say it depends, and what I mean by that is like it's important to have somebody asking questions about like how long do you plan on staying in that place?
Yeah, good question.
Are you just looking to get into something that you're going to live in on your own because you don't want to rent, or do you want to get into something that you can maybe be in for 5-8 years? You have a kid, meet somebody, all that kind of stuff. So it depends. It's just important. I would say that the most important thing if you're a first-time home buyer is to connect with somebody that's going to ask all the right questions and be able to give you a solid prescription of, based off your situation and what your goals are, what's going to make the most sense for you.
That's a good coach right there too. Just going through the proper consultation steps to make sure your client's taken care of, right?
Yeah. I feel like I just punted on your question. I'm like, it kind of depends.
Oh, and it's a huge open-ended question because like I only ask because like when I went through it, if I didn't have someone to walk me through like those steps, I would have been like, I'm signing a lot of money and I'm like, here's a lot of my money and like trust, like yeah. So
I think right now is a really good time because there's a lot to choose from. There's a lot of variety. You don't have to be rushed. You can make educated decisions and take your time through the process. Not like, okay, Richard, we viewed this place. You have to decide in the next 5 minutes.
You have 13 minutes. That was happening to us.
Yeah.
We got outbid one place. I think it was like $60K or something like that. Cash, no subjects. And I'm like, it must be nice. Like I wouldn't risk like what if it has black mold in there you have no idea about, right? God,
now you have the time to do an inspection. You got the time to do and no subjects doesn't necessarily mean no due diligence. There's different things you can do, and we can do a whole podcast on that. Like instead of doing a subject to an inspection, you can do an inspection before you write an offer, and that's what we're seeing frequently.
Oh, see, that's why
reading the strata documents before you write the offer, as opposed to getting an accepted offer subject to you reading the strata documents, reviewing the title, reaching out to your lawyer to get them to look at that, make sure there's no wonky charges on there.
So there is the peace of mind stuff that you can at least do.
Yeah.
Good.
It's a lot more work up front as opposed to after. It's not like, well, hope this works out, sign the cross and then, see how it goes. There's different things you can do, but right now you have the ability to take, a week, 10 days, not do all of that in the 24 to 48 hours before you need to submit an offer. So it's a great time to be a buyer right now.
Yeah, that's huge. Because I know when I was buying, not that we were rushed or felt frantic, but like you did feel that like sense of urgency where it's like, it's either find this or I pay $100,000 more next week kind of thing. Like not literally, but like it was going pretty fast. But
at some points.
It was really bad at some points.
Yeah.
How about on like the mortgage side? Like what would I guess someone like maybe you could, if you know like the finance part of how much like you need to make to get X or how whatever guidance you kind of want to do.
Depends. Like some people come with the varying levels of knowledge, right? So the easy answer is to always get pre-approved first before you start looking. So,
seems like a good idea.
So you know how much you can afford. That's number one. Number two is knowing the different incentives you can take advantage of, because as a first-time home buyer, there's a lot of different programs available that can save you money or help you access money that you didn't realize you could use, like your RSP money, for example. Or what's a first home savings account? Like how do I set that up if I'm looking to buy in the future?
That one was new.
That is new. That's not something you would have been able to utilize at that time. But just knowing what the different options are, and then obviously connecting with the realtor. Typically the process goes, and it seems kind of backwards. It's like they find a realtor, then they get financing. Us and I obviously work closely together, so we make sure that we're covering both sides of things. But I mean, Austin and I can say that any good realtor should hopefully make sure that their client's pre-approved before they start looking.
You sure hope so.
Yeah.
But often they'll talk to a realtor and they'll start kind of like, oh, what can I buy? Like, what are the options? And then, again, most realtors will say, okay, like, have you been pre-approved or is your financing in place? And that's really number one for a first-time home buyer. And then my job is to make sure that you understand what you're signing up for, because like you said,
It's a lot. It's
massive
a
amount
lot of
money.
big words.
A lot of $5 words. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole,
and all the other little aspects of it too, because it's not just the mortgage. Like, you got to go and sign with a lawyer. You've got to, like, there's all these different
the
things you got to
notaries and
consider.
stuff
There's other
too.
costs you have to consider. Like, that's my job, is like, okay, so it's going to be a $500,000 mortgage. It's going to be your payment. How much is your strata fee? How much are your property taxes? How much is property transfer tax if you have to pay that? So things like that are probably the most important, but pre-approvals by far number one.
Sweet. Well, Richard, thank you so much for your time. We
thanks for having me.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it, guys.
We'll be
Thank you.
getting you on again in the future.
Yeah.
And
Podcast coming.
3 dads trying stuff.
3 dads making dreams come true.
Get the merch ready.
Here we go.
Sweet. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks again.